Hello everyone, I'm Anthony, the Eclectic Chef. Welcome back to my kitchen. This evening we're going to prepare a dish that for me has a little bit of history. We're going to do beef cheeks, braised in red wine with a little celery, carrot, onion and mushroom. We're going to serve that donburi style over brown rice in a bowl. Now, why does this have history? Well, a boy's best friend is his dog. And my best friend when I was a boy was white with brown spots and his name was Rebel. My mom used to cook Rebel's dog food herself. And a large part of it was, you guessed it, beef cheeks. So, it was with some amusement a few years ago when the sous chef and I were at the Four Seasons at North Star in Tahoe, where we had a second home at the time, to find beef cheeks on the menu as an appetizer. And I teased the waiter, telling him that I was ordering dog food. Well, they were great. And since then, I've cooked them a few times for myself. Cheeks are not especially cheap, by the way. They're not awful. We should think of it as a specialty meat, perhaps. But they braise up incredibly tender and with lots of flavour. So let's get into the kitchen and get this dish started. Thank you for watching. Okay, welcome to the kitchen. And here's our beef cheek as it came from the packet. I usually buy this at my Latin American themed supermarket. It's the easiest place to find it, and this 1 3/4 pound as is piece cost me just shy of $10. As you can see, he really will use a little bit of trimming before we team this with our vegetables and pop him in the Instant Pot with some wine and herbs. And there's no need for you to watch me cutting all this fat off, so I'll come back to you when we've got that done. So here we are after we trimmed our beef cheek off. I don't usually show this type of shot, but I thought I would this time. I was fairly aggressive in trimming the beef cheek. The trimmings are here. This is the meat that's going into the Instant Pot. Beef cheek is, excuse the pun, a chewy cut to start with, because guess what it does for the cow? They're chewing all day and it gets a lot of work. But there's quite a lot of fat and connective tissue that you just don't want to be chewing through in addition. Now the meat will turn out quite tender. I've cooked this joint before, this piece of meat before, so I do know. And what I'll probably do is put the trimmings into a Ziploc bag and save them for the stock pot. Waste not, want not. In the meantime, let's prepare our mise en place with the vegetables, the spices, the wine, and all the rest of the good stuff that's going into this, and we'll see in a few minutes. Okay, so here we are, back with the complete mise en place for our beef cheek and vegetables in red wine. Now, please excuse the cooking chopstick. Here we have our beef cheek, nicely coated in flour. But before that goes into the Instant Pot on saute, we'll be cooking these up. That's one finely chopped shallot, a rasher of our home-cured, home-smoked bacon cut into lardons, 4 garlic cloves crushed and chopped, and 1 generous teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. So after we've softened these up, got the nice aromatics out of them, we'll brown the beef cheek. After which we'll add the vegetables, half a red onion, half a dozen large brown mushrooms halved, 1 large carrot sliced up into, I'd say roughly 1-inch slices, but we halved the carrot because it was so large. Then we're going to add our liquids. 1 cup of red wine, that's Costco Bordeaux. 2/3 of a cup of our own homemade dashi. I keep a large jar of chilled dashi in the fridge. I tend to use it instead of meat stock just because it enhances the umami flavour. We have a glass of brandy and some closing herbs. We have a large sprig of thyme from my herb garden, 3 or 4 dried bay leaves, and 2 pieces of dried mandarin peel. That's about it. So first we'll soften these, then we'll brown the meat, then we'll add the veg, then we'll add the liquids, then we'll add the herbs, and we figure an hour on high in the Instant Pot, and then we'll see how the meat's doing. It may take a little longer because remember, this is a pretty chewy cut of meat. See you on the other side. Well, after an hour in the Instant Pot, the beef cheeks were beyond fork tender. Melt in the mouth would not be an inappropriate description. Absolutely delightful. So I served these up kind of donburi style over some brown rice with some Taiwanese spinach, which if you're at the Asian grocers is different to Asian spinach. And for my wine, I paired it with some saperavi, another Georgian dry red, not quite as full-bodied as the mukazani, but it paired very well with these beef cheeks. Very happy with the way this turned out. Very tender, very tasty, highly recommended dish.